world's favorite Frankenswitch, the BCP is back. Well, kind of. For those who don't know what a Frankenswitch is, in the mechanical keyboard switch world, believe it or not, there was a moment in time where people actually ran out of options for new switches. To turn to the stash of switches they had already collected and begin to source materials like the nylon top from a black cherry MX switch, the palm stem from a kale cream, and the H1 or JWK bottom housing, resulting in a shorter travel distance and a brand new switch. Now, the black cherry pie was not the first or only Frankenswitch to shake the mechanical keyboard scene, but this was in a time before nearly every switch on the market was a long pole switch. But aside from that little history lesson, today I'm going to be reviewing a brand new switch by BSUN and Sarokeys, created in the inspiration of the classic goat of a Frankenswitch, the black cherry pie. My first impression of these factory made Frankenswitches is that they look and feel amazing. Judging on the initial finger test, they have a clean clackiness that sounds full of body and garners a sound that doesn't have any thinness commonly heard in most stock switches. The Sarokeys BSUN PCB is factory lubed, and upon opening them up, they appear to be generously hand lubed. So these beauties are designed by Sarokeys, who you may know from designing the strawberry wine switches. Manufactured by BSUN in Wuque, and the stem material is a modified palm S9. The top and bottom housings are made of PA66 or polyamide 66, basically an iteration of nylon, which, fun fact, is actually used in military helicopter propellers due to its rigidness. When it comes to the operating force for these switches, you're looking at 51 grams, and for the bottom mount, it's 57 grams. They have about 1.3 millimeters of pre-travel, but in total, the travel distance is 3.2 millimeters. You got a 20 millimeters single stage spring, which is pretty long. Once again, it's factory lubed on the spring, the stem feet, and the stem sliders. Now, with all that info consumed, let's do a sound test and see what we're working with. Running the BCP on the Zoom75 with the PC plate and GMK Mika. So these switches share quite a bit of similarities with the Penyu switch by Rebult, which I fell in love with the first time I tried them. The new BCPs are slightly heavier, have a more noticeable scratch, and lower pitch than the Penyus though. But the similarities lie within the sound signature and the materials used, since both of them are consciously inspired by the original BCP or Cream Paka, which is another Frankenswitch. Even with that being said though, the Penyu inboard has a lighter clack than the BCP, but the BCP has like an underlying bass sound that the Penyu just doesn't have. I gotta go with the BCP though if I had to choose one, mostly because of the age of the Penyu. Like, it's really nice, but I think it really deserves a V2 right along with the Harimau or Harimau. When it comes down to it, the BCPs are just a bit more refined. By the way, when I mentioned the scratch though, it isn't a bothersome sound. I surprisingly enjoy the scratchiness a lot. It's way more tame than the scratch of something like the Cherry MX Black Clear Tops, aka the Nixies. Ultimately, I'm a fan of the Sarokeys BSUN BCP Linear, as an ode to the Frankenswitch that is pretty hard to get your hands on due to the classic kale cream stem being upgraded to something that hits a little bit different. I say they did a pretty good job because although it sounds and feels similar, I feel like they made some really nice refinements in the right areas. You can hit the link in my description. They'll often sell out, so if you see them in stock, I do my best to grab some. Thanks again for watching my video review of the new school BCP. If you have any switches that you'd like me to check out or review, please let me know down in the comments and we'll see what I can do. I also have a couple already in the can coming soon, so subscribe and stay tuned if you don't want to miss them. Well, I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.